Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. You guys are watching our NFL Mailbag. Remember, this was filmed on Wednesday, so if anything happens crazy, don't yell at me. What I want you guys to do, though, is take a second or two, look down in the comments, or literally just type in magicspoon.com/chat in your web browser and get set up with our awesome sponsor. If anybody out there is trying to eat healthier, if you're trying to just get some better tasting cereal in your life that's actually healthy, 14 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, go to magicspoon.com/chat. As one of my OGs here, Mark, does Rodgers retire after the season? If not, where does he end up, given his time will likely end as a Packer? I do think that his time is going to be done as a Packer. And before entering the year, I'd have been like, no, I don't think Rodgers retires. However, he just looks so unmotivated. He looks miserable out on the football field. Now, sure, this past week he had a good game, but his just body language, his press conferences, everything is just, it's shitty. So there's actually a part of me that thinks I would not be surprised whatsoever if he retired. Jeff Reed, who takes the rushing title this year? I have to be as boring as possible. I got to say Derrick Henry. I mean, the game that he just had this past week, which was what, 100 and something yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was an absolute monster against Seattle. It's why his nickname is King Henry. Oh, Eugenus, Jalen Hurts has looked good so far. Do you think he sticks around in Philly, unlike that fraud, broken man, Wetz? Jalen Hurts has actually looked okay, and I agree with that. If there's been a player that maybe I've been a little bit wrong on so far, it has been him. However, I want to see what he can do up against, more, I guess I shouldn't say more, better defenses, because 49ers have a very legit defense, but he's got to do it for a longer period of time, because a lot of times with the mobile quarterbacks is they play well early on, and then defensive coordinators, they learn how to scheme for you, and then that can quickly correct certain things. But do I think he lasts longer than Wentz? Yes, because Wentz is about as soft as it comes. Charles Harmon, Sherman to the Chiefs. I mean, if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, definitely one of the top teams to consider would be Kansas City. However, they didn't make my top 5 list, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. So speaking of the Chiefs, I got a lot of Chiefs friends, and I'm going to be with a lot of Chiefs friends this weekend at a wedding, and they probably would go ahead and say that Arrowhead is the nicest NFL stadium. But you know what? I want you guys to let me know, what's the nicest NFL stadium that you have personally been to? Me personally, I've only been to 3 NFL stadiums, and technically only for 2 teams. I have been to, actually that's a lie, I've been to Carolina Stadium, but that's when I was 7 years old. I barely remember it. I've been to MetLife because I used to work there in college. And then I went to the Oakland Coliseum, loved the Raiders, but that stadium was not very nice. The nicest stadium that I've ever been to is Allegiant Stadium. Was there just a few weeks ago. So guys, let me know down in the comments the nicest stadium that you've been to. Colin Forsex, who is a player on the Seahawks that you think deserves more snaps? Well, Colin Forsex, that's a great. You guys, these names this week are phenomenal. I'll say Alton Robinson. I was very impressed when I saw Robinson in the preseason. I thought he generates pretty good pressure. I believe he's only been on the field for 30% of Seattle snaps. So I would go ahead and say him, because the Seahawks need to be able to get more pass rush, simply because that secondary is just, it's trash. I'm sorry, it's trash. Tom Downey's actual account. Do you think Urban Meyer even lasts this season? Dude, I don't know. If you want to talk about a disaster of a situation, I think Urban Meyer in Jacksonville is already going to be just lit on fire. I think he finishes out the year, but it actually wouldn't surprise me if Urban's just you know what? I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm sick of losing. Evan Hinders, should Minnesota try to get another running back since Cool got hurt 3 times Sunday? Cool? I think you mean Cook. I was like, cool. I'm like, who the hell is Cool? I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, Dalvin Cook always gets banged up. He always gets hurt. I like Madison. I think he's a halfway decent running back. Maybe you could go out and add another just extra body. If you do it, kind of wouldn't mind Adrian Peterson back to Minnesota. All right, Noah Dye. Tom Brady says he can play until he's 50. What do you have to say about this? If Tom Brady says he can play until 60, until that man shows any signs of aging, I think it's possible. I'll also say the NFL has definitely set him up in terms of being able to play into his 40s, because you literally can't hit a quarterback. Well, you definitely can't hit Tom Brady. So I think it sets him up pretty well. I don't know exactly if Brady's going to be able to play until he's 50. I know he's on a crazy strict diet. If you want to be on a looser diet and still be able to eat whatever the hell you want, I want you guys to go ahead and try Magic Spoon cereal, magicspoon.com/chat. I actually think this would be healthy enough for Tom Brady. No GMOs, it's vegan friendly, and you can get just a whole bunch of protein. It's low in carbs, and it tastes really good. And now I've seen some of the stuff that he eats. I know he doesn't eat tomatoes, and I know that none of this cereal tastes like tomatoes, so I actually think, Brady, you're good. Go ahead and get yourself some Magic Spoon. I know you got plenty of money to be able to go ahead and do it. It's magicspoon.com/chat. $5 off your very first order. I recommend the fruity. I recommend frosted, peanut butter, chocolate. Your best bet is probably going out and get the variety of 4-pack. But again, it's magicspoon.com/chat. If you want to go ahead and type spoon in the comments, Marshall said he'd spoon with you. Let's go to Henry Stevens. I just want to say, let's go to the next question. I agree, Marshall. I 100% agree with you. So if you guys want to get your questions on the show, #NFL, or you can super chat. Jeff Reed, are you related to Ed? Which of the older running backs for the Ravens makes a comeback this season? Well, speaking of the Ravens, could Ed Reed, maybe Earl Thomas? No, none of those guys play corner. And you're talking about running back all over the place here. Which of the older running backs of the Ravens makes a comeback this? I mean, Peterson would be a name, but he's not on the Ravens. I mean, I think you got Tyson Williams. You rock and roll with Latavius Murray. That's what you got. That's what you go with. All right, Robin. Should Miami replace Brittle Tua? Wow. Already, I'm going to say you still have to be able to see what Tua's got. I mean, he hasn't had Will Fuller yet. That offensive line's an absolute disaster. So I think before you say, let's get rid of Tua, you got to give him a halfway decent line because they got nobody right now blocking for him. But appreciate it, Robin. Let's go to Gus Bus. If Big Ben is out, would you start Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins? I personally would start Dwayne Haskins because I think he has just higher upside than Mason Rudolph. But I anticipate Big Ben to end up playing in this one. But it wouldn't surprise me if he was questionable every single game this entire year because that just seems what Big Ben does in his career. Now, if you guys want to stay up to date on the latest news, rumors, if you want fun segments like Richard Sherman Destinations, then go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports right now. We got over 260,000 subs for a reason. We grind it out. We work really hard trying to keep you guys up to date on NFL, NBA. Heck, we even do college football. Everything that you want, subscribe to Chat Sports. I don't want you to miss anything. How's it going, Tom? I know you're off today. Whatever happened to Larry Warford, and is he done for good? I mean, he retired, so, yeah, I think he's done for good. He had some injuries. He had some other things going on. So, yeah, Warford, he's done. Let's go to Jamie again. Did the Dolphins drop the ball by not drafting Penny or Slater? I believe I've already answered this, and I said yes because nobody can protect that offensive line. York, who's the best right end in the NFL? It's kind of funny that York Small. York Oxismall is asking about right ends. Who's the best right end? I guess you mean defensive ends. I mean, right now the best defensive ends in the league. Max Crosby deserves to be up there. I mean, he's the highest rated Pro Football Focus end, and he's been absolutely phenomenal, leading the league right now in terms of overall pressures. But, I mean, if you guys have another name, please go ahead and throw him out there. Sammy Ice Tray, with the Jarvis Landry injury, my friends hate me for this. Why not sign Josh Gordon? Oh, man. Just imagine Josh Gordon back to the Browns. That would be a video that we 100% make. We'd be going live. Hell, we might go live on our Browns channel. I don't know. But, no. Josh Gordon, keep him out of the NFL. I hate how many chances that guy has gotten. Now, speaking of the Browns, one of the most competitive divisions in the entire league is, in fact, the AFC North. And who do you think is going to end up winning this division here? If you think it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, type PIT. If you think it's going to be Baltimore, BAL, the Cincinnati Bengals, CIN, or the Cleveland Browns, go ahead and type CLE. I'm actually probably going to go ahead and type CLE. What up, Tom? How's some MK? Who are some realistic trade or free agent options for the Dolphins for the offensive line? Well, I'd say, first off, you got to be looking at either right or left tackle, but I'm curious where they put Liam Eichenberg because I anticipate Eichenberg playing right tackle. But the left tackle situation is just an absolute disaster, so maybe Russell Okung could be an option. If you want to put Eichenberg even maybe at left tackle, maybe you go out and get a right tackle like, I don't know, Schwartz or DeMar Dotson could be an option, maybe Nick Easton, one of those options, though. I mean, even Joe Dahl, J.R. Sweezy, plenty of options out there. Now, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and give Chat Sports a follow on Instagram. I can't tell you what the deal is, but we got a really awesome deal that I'm about to post on Chat Sports Instagram. So if you want to see what it is, go ahead, give us a follow at Chat Sports. Bob Leiser, will Justin Field light it up against the Browns? Well, Justin Fields, I anticipate playing well. Justin Field sounds like the Walmart version, so I don't know about that. But I think that he's going to have a halfway decent game. It's very hard to be able to scheme for Fields, but the Browns do have a good defense, but I'm still going to take Cleveland to win. Sorry, Harry. Chubby_banana. Do you think Frank Clark is washed up? Washed up, no. But he's not the Frank Clark. Like that's a name, right? Like you know the name Frank Clark. You know that he's a big name guy. He's not going to be the Clark that he once was. He's still a good player though. Let's go to Jeff Reed. Who takes the NFC West division crown? You want to talk about probably the best division overall in the NFL. I think it's between the NFC West and the AFC West. I like what I see out of Arizona, but it wouldn't surprise me if they collapse. I'm going to go with the team that I think has the best defense in that division, which is the Los Angeles Rams. But I will say the 49ers, the Rams, Seahawks, and the Cardinals all deserve to be in the playoffs. Like, that's how good all four of those teams are. Mixie Lee, good evening from Würzburg, Germany. Wie geht es dir? Ich sprich ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich vergehen in Cologne. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I lived in Cologne for years, basically what I was trying to get to. Let's go to Tom. What up, Tom? Who is the fattest? Oh, boy. Who's the biggest NFL coach? I guess it's the guy that likes cheeseburgers. You guys can figure out who that is. Let's go to Chris Romero. Are the Cowboys the best team in the NFC East? Probably. That's not really saying a lot. The Giants are not very good. Washington football team with Heineke, not very good, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So, like, the Cowboys literally could go they could win 6 games, and I think that actually might be enough to win that division. It's kind of scary to say, but, yeah, that's kind of the world we're in. But the Cowboys do have a very good – I will say this. Their defense is playing a lot better. I'll give them at least a little bit of credit for that.